So Dion, what role do you see yourself playing now? After so many years being a concerned citizen, and with your issues and problems, what role do you see yourself playing in helping making the community a better place?
And my understanding and short sight of it, or like a cheerleader and someone to encourage and inspire those who wants to do the right thing. But only God really knows what He has in store for me. But in short sight of my understanding of what this is all about, is showing those who want to do the right thing to encourage and inspire them. And that's what my vision and understanding is of it right now.
Okay. Okay. Do you see yourself, getting involved in any other groups or organizations if they reached out to you, or would it like really depend on what they're about, or?
It's according to what the group is about,
Yeah.
what's their goals, what's their plan,
Right.
and what their intent is.
Hmm.
And it's this being self-centered, or it's about the work of the community.
You
It's just like a great singer in a group. I'm out front of the group, but the greatness and the realness of it comes when I step back with the rest and we harmonize together. When we can hear one another through their thing, it's so much better. And that goes to tell me and my understanding is that working together brings greater results. It's nice to be out front as the
know.
lead
Right. Right.
because the spotlight is on me.
Mm.
But those in the background is playing just an important part as I am in front because they're harmonizing and they're doing their part to bring it all together. And that's a good way of explaining what I'm all about and wanted to do.
So you're not necessarily a guy that wants to be in the spotlight. You just want to work with others, perhaps if you can, to make things
Yeah,
better.
because you get your greatest accomplishments and goals is working as a group. And if you are sincere and committed and dedicated, whether you are in a group or not, people will see your accomplishments. The group will recognize that. And
Mm.
it was never about me, it was about community. And you have very few of us that really truly believe that. See, I believe in the Wilbur section because that's my birthright. And if anybody who knows me,
Mm-hmm.
if you go back to the beginning of all this community stuff with Dion Clark, he always talked about the Wilbur section first. It was never about Dion Clark. It was always about the Wilbur section
Mm.
and all the good people and the good things that came from the Wilbur section. We had our movie theaters. We had a supermarket.
Mm.
We had clothing stores. We had restaurants of quality. We had a lot of good people who worked and took care of their families. Had clean homes, good people. And those were the things that I always preached about and talked about first.
Right.
Dion Clark came later.
Right. Right.
But so much emphasis came on Dion Clark because I was the only one talking that talk.
Mm. Mm.
I used to go to city council and I'd be always the one standing up and talking about the illegal dumpers, the
Right.
slum landlords, the gangbangers. It was always Dion. So,
Yeah. 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 And does it hurt you to see the Wilbur section get a bad name now? For the problems it has, or since you've seen it at
no,
in better
because I
times.
no, because I know the truth,
Mm-hmm.
and the truth will set you free. See, I know things that the system and them don't know, because
Mm.
I just mentioned you about the people. Because somebody might got strung out on drugs. I know the real them. People go through things in lives. Some of us can handle them, some of us can't. Because you get strung out on drugs or become an alcohol or lose your job, don't make you a bad person. It just means that you're going through certain situations in life. Some of us able to deal with them and bounce back, and some of us don't. But that don't make you a bad person.
Mm.
And it's a misunderstanding of that a lot of times. Because he's on drugs, oh, he's terrible, he's no good. But I knew him when he wasn't on drugs.
Right. Right.
I know his parents, I knew his grandparents. We went to school, we went to church together. We used to go to summer camp together. We used to play on the basketball court together. It wasn't always like that.
Right. Knowing the history.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Instead of just judging people or.
Right, playing judge.
Right. Right.
And I guess a lot of us in trouble because we all do it in one sense or another.
Right. Right.
But when we talk about Walnut Avenue,
Mm.
I know Walnut Avenue. I was born and raised there. I know the history. I know the people.
Right.
I love Walnut Avenue. For what it's worth, I love Walnut Avenue.
Mm.
It means a lot to me. It might not mean nothing to nobody else, but it means a lot to me because there's a lot I know about Walnut Avenue that many people don't know about
Right.
Walnut Avenue.
Right. So yeah, to those outsiders that look in and say, well, Walnut Avenue, I don't want to go down there late at night. I don't want to get robbed, or I don't want to blah blah blah. You say to them, you know, I love
Stay
it.
off of Walnut Avenue because I don't go in your neighborhood late at night.
Right.
I don't care where you go. If I'm somewhere late at night, I'm most likely doing something I have no business doing.
Anyway, right.
You know, it's just common sense. Well, I got to wait till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to come down your street unless I'm up to something I ain't got no business.
Right. And Dion, last two questions. You know, in being a concerned citizen, what challenges did you face, and how did you overcome them? And then lastly, what would you tell somebody coming after you? You know, what advice would you give to them, if any, on being a concerned citizen?
First of all, it was all God's grace and mercy. First of all, it was my determination, it was my upbringing, and my commitment to community. Secondly, the same thing to those individuals who wants to take the baton and run with it. It's going to take God's grace and mercy to see you through it, but you're going to have to work at it. You're going to have to endure. You're going to have to overcome. Everybody's not going to like what you want to do, but in your heart, you'll know that it's right, and that's all that matters.
Indeed. Thank you, Dion.
Thank you, sir.